Monumenty is the third full-length album from Polish black metal quintet Czort, and this is generally a melodic black metal band by my measure. This is a somewhat typical, but also not so typical modern Polish black metal group, and one that leans more into something that is distinctly melodic and driven by prettier moments as well as harsher, aggressive points. It's a difficult thing to describe because they've changed a little bit with each record over time. I would say that the interest that formed between the first two records was lead guitar work that was ear-catching. The focus on the bass guitar presence from the first to the third record changed quite a bit, and they took more of a melodic direction on this record in the sense that every song is contained, well written, and focuses a little bit more on the dual rhythm guitar work overall. So as a fan of melodic black metal, there's a lot that appeals to me up front with this band. I would say that there are compatriots in this style that you'd find in the Odium Humanae Generis record that I talked about earlier, as well as certain records from Blaze of Perdition that are more focused on black metal. Overall, I would shy away from calling this post-black metal, but it is certainly atmospheric and kind of glowing in its overall register. It does lean a little bit cinematic, but they really focus on the song, the hook, and the guitar interest most of the time, and it is a fairly well-produced record overall. So we'll get an example of that here, and then I'll talk a little bit more about how the record plays out and what the general value of it is to me. So naturally, the band hit you with a lot of their strongest ideas first. I would say they get right to the point in terms of their melodic ideas, some interesting use of diction in the vocals, and there's kind of a more distinct influence from post-punk and a kind of gothic rock feeling to some of these songs in the way they develop some of their bass lines and the general meter of the drumming on this record. The rhythms certainly have a maudlin but also intense vibe to them, and that translates to a record that is dark in its tone, but also memorable and a little bit catchy actually to start. And over time, the full listen dissolves essentially. The mind and the presence of it is on a downward spiral overall, and we get more involved and darker pieces, even a little bit of a folken touch to some of these songs as we head on down. And I think that makes for a record that plays out well as an experience. I think it's one that illustrates itself well in the sense of spiraling down in mood, but it does the energy kind of saps out of it as we go. So if you're just looking for pure consistency and those catchier songs on side A, side B is very different in that sense, and it feels like we definitely move through an experience more so than we do find one knack and stick with it. And I appreciated the ride in that respect, and I like the album more because it goes somewhere with it and it conveys something overall. And I think that the catchier songs are enough of that for side A, and I liked that there was something different on the second half, and that might be different for your taste. For me, it doesn't get much more complicated than that. The effectiveness of these songs and the use of lead guitars and the general register of the band is specifically something that I enjoy. It's a side of Polish black metal I find very interesting in this sort of modern movement, and I think this is an exceptional band with a strong aesthetic and general melodic voice. So that's a very high recommendation for me. I think this is one of the strongest records of November and well worth talking about and checking out. So go ahead and read my review for more of my thoughts, and check this album out now. It released on November 29th.